our mechanics are going to be good, right? And like, when was the last time that you've had to take your car to a mechanic like 4 or 5 times a year? Right now, with these new cars and the nice roads, we only go once. Like, what about the mechanics? You know, we have to worry about them. And of course, the new car industry, like with poor roads, our cars are not going to last 10 years or 8 years. Now we're going to need one every 2 or 3 years, and that is good for the car dealerships, of course. A great economic driver. Maybe we can have more people doing that. You know, and then you think about the services that we might lose, like trash and fire and 911. And I said, you know, maybe this is another opportunity where we can make America great like 1848. You know, that was a time before we had services where we really promoted those American ideals of grit and gumption, you know. It was something about handing buckets to your neighbor to put out fires that really built community. That really built community. And then you think about it, imagine what the U.S. would be like without these services like it was in 1848. Again, it could be great. What we can do is use this again for economic opportunities. Like, everybody loves like Jamestown and going back and reliving colonial times. Well, now we don't have to set up places like that. We can just do it here. No need to go visit Jamestown. We're living it out now. I thought it could be great opportunities. Instead of sending people away for the Peace Corps, we could just send them to the next state. It sounds a little bleak, but hey, that's what we're looking at. Or you can also say, hey, the Amish got it right. But that would be a great sort of message. But when we think about some of the things that they talk about, privatization and paying fees for services, you know, that might work, because, you know, if you get the right people to do the things the private sector, very people in the private sector to provide the services, that could really work. Like for like fire, you know, imagine like, this fire was put out by Domino's Pizza. With free pepperoni. Well, you know, like, they're quick, you know, that could do that, or this arrest was brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Like, so many things. Even talking about trash, and I do pay for trash collection, those tags every week, and I don't like it. And I'm thinking, hey, maybe if we could just get away from trash collection altogether, and everybody can just have a big heap of trash in their yard, and eventually we hope that some magical, mystical thing would happen, and it could turn into a talking trash heap, like in Fraggle Rock, which actually gave pretty good advice to all of the Fraggles. So all right, maybe I'm showing my age now because I really enjoyed Fraggle Rock. I think maybe some of these students are going to have to Google it later. But what do we do? What do we do? How can we find the proverbial boot to put on some of these physical stress or the policies that are happening? I'm not sure, but I had some ideas. You know, compared to what some of our panelists have said, what I'm saying is sort of tongue in cheek, but it really, I think it's an opportunity or a way to really look at or talk to people about what's happening in a way that they can understand. So whenever we say, hey, we're worried about fiscal stress. You know, the commoners and the folks who are not researchers will be like, look, man, my physical is okay. What I'm really worried about is my money in my pocket. So for me, this has really been just a great opportunity to share and try to provide a little humor and levity to something that's a real great situation. And next time somebody does complain about paying their taxes, you can always say, well, hey, you know, we can always make it like 1848. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kenneth. I appreciate your offering us a different way to think about messaging. And now it's time for us to eat. I hope we'll sit at the tables. My students are here. Raise your hands. They're very anxious to learn from all of you, so they're going to distribute themselves around the different tables, and hopefully the rest of you will too, so y'all can have really good conversations. And just thank you very much, the panel, Austin, Robin for organizing.
And we'll be starting the next program at 12:15. So for those that weren't here yesterday, there's a lunch.